Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Judd Dryden Show. We're going to talk a little Shelbyville football with the head football coach of the Shelbyville Central High School Golden Eagles. I'm Bill Anderson, your host. Judd Dryden's next to me. Today's show is brought to you by SLC Firearms inside of Shelbyville Lumber, 917 North Main Street. Phone number is 931-684-5731. Stop in and see Mike Matusik, Chris Cartwright. You might even see Rick Epperson in there. That's the guy that actually sighted in my rifle, did some work for me. Old Rick's Anita Epperson, a fellow county commissioner of mine's husband. And I saw him in there today when I went in there, and I needed a light at the office had gone out the plug. Went down to Shelbyville Lumber, cost $1. I bet if I'd gone somewhere else, it would have been a whole lot more money than that. But you walk inside Shelbyville Lumber, go over the plumbing section, keep easy to the right, and that's where SLC Firearms is. Coach, 4 weeks in a row, and it's another good day for a coach's show. You go up to Wilson Central, 42-8. Has to feel good.
Oh, it feels really good. We pretty much going into that game, we were looking at a 3-1 6A football team, and we had a great week of practice. The kids were locked in mentally, and it was just one of those weeks where it felt like we could do something really, really good on the field, and it turned out that way for us. From the very first snap, defensively, we were in control, and offensively, it took us a little bit of a few snaps to get our feet underneath us. But boy, when it did, we took off, and it was a great night for us.
Surprisingly, here a little bit was the physicality on the line of scrimmage, offensive line, defensive line, and as the game went on the offensive line, it looked like really wore on them a little bit.
It did, and that's a testament to Trey Stewart and what he's done with us in the weight room and our strength conditioning and program and how we've been trained. We were able to just slowly and methodically take over the game, and hats off to Coach Kuhn at Wilson Central. He's done a great job up there bringing that program back in just a few weeks, and since he got there, and so it wasn't a bad football team that we played, which makes it feel that much better that we have a chance.
Oh, they were 3-1.
Yeah, and so we're excited. We're excited moving into this week. We've already had a couple of good days week of practice this week.
And one interesting thing too was, of course, Rocky Chandler had the big night for you. He has a huge night for you.
Yeah.
I thought your quarterback played again pretty doggone good when you had to get in a situation, and he had several times. He did it again. He gets you in the right play if he has to. Nice calls, and I thought his ability to run the ball.
His running ability again is something that has helped us out. You can't just key on any of those three backs. You can't just go out and play man-to-man coverage on Micah Threed or LeBron Ransom. Now all of a sudden there's another threat. So if you get some of those situations where they are stacking the box and playing man-to-man coverage, now you have options. So he's been doing really well, and he's still coming into his own within the system. And he's a transfer in as a senior, so he's, there's things that he did before that we don't do, and vice versa. So we want to make sure that he has every opportunity to grow in the system, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Robert Bailey has great vision as a running back, but the other night on defense, he was a monster.
He was. They pretty much a weak outside linebacker. They didn't have an answer for him.
No answer.
He was making plays in the running game. He was making plays, in the pass drops. He was making plays whenever we bring pressure. He had a great night defensively, and it's the great and nice thing about him too is he would be just as explosive on the offense if Rocky hadn't had the night that he had. So it was straight up true textbook complimentary football across the board, and it was great.
Logan McBee, middle linebacker again. I thought he had another nice game for you as well.
He did. He is so solid. He's averaging 10.5 tackles a game. I mean, he leads everything. He gets us into the right. He's that quarterback on the defense, up front, where he gets us into the right calls and right movements up front, and he does such a wonderful job there. And then his cohort in there at inside is his wingman, basically Brody Lavorne, has slowly and steadily gotten better and better. He started last year for us as a sophomore, and he's just continued to improve from that. So you can't speak too highly of that young man either.
And your secondary, your safeties, your corners played what you didn't give up the big play.
No, we didn't. And that's one of the things that we've been. It's been a point of emphasis for us. A focus is making sure our open field tackling's better, making sure that there's no blown coverages, and that we're rotating correctly back there and doing the things that their eyes are correct all the time. And that's one of the things that is so critical for our defense is their eyes across the board, all 11 guys, their eyes have to be true. And as long as they stay focused on that, we do pretty good up front.
To go from week one when the tackling was atrocious,
Yep.
it was bad,
It was.
and watch each week the way these kids are getting better. It's a tribute to you as coaches and to the kids,
Right.
because every week it seems like you're getting a lot better.
Oh, we are, and that talks to the it speaks to the maturity of the players. They realize and recognize that one of the reasons we lost that game was that we did not tackle well and as well as we could have, and so they have bought into us having some form of open field tackling every day. And I say bought into, we've always done it, but it brought, once they realized what had happened and that was one of the causes for the loss, they doubled down on it and they went after it. And so now if for some reason practice goes by and we haven't had tackling drills yet, they want to know why. Well, it just hasn't happened yet. It's not that it's not going to happen. It just hasn't come up in the practice plan yet. So they want to know. I mean, they are bought in on it.
I noticed a kid the other night on the film I watched. He's a freshman, and he was out there, and his name's Cates.
Yep.
And that kid is really a true freshman. He didn't look like it.
No, he doesn't. He
gave you some nice reps in that.
He did, and after some injuries and some team issues and roster issues, he's come along as a guy that gets some reps in there. Him, Colton Clardy, and Chris Darnell, who's a senior. Colton's a sophomore. They're rotating at one spot in there, and we're able to. You can't even call it stealing reps anymore. It's Oof. They go in, they earn what they get, and they make an impact in the game.
He looked very strong, and
he is very strong. Oof. Yep,
nice. Offensive line wise, the difference to me from last year to this year is your O-line plays a whole lot better. There's now holes.
Right.
And as the game went on, you could see the physicality of the kids really getting to Wilson Central, especially in that second half.
Yeah, it comes down to, we made a few tweaks and changes. It's no longer a blended offensive system for them like it was last year. Last year we had to adapt to what they already knew because we took over so late.
Right.
This past season we've had an entire off season, through the winter, 3-and-1s, skill work, and then spring ball, and then the entire summer, and now we're starting to really see it gelling for us. Our system in and of itself in the run game and pass protection has consistently gotten better, and they've done an incredible job. I mean, they are top to bottom. Those offensive linemen are locked into what we're trying to accomplish each week, and they're starting to. I mean, they take a lot of pride in what they do. You make corrections and critiques. They don't get upset at you or emotional over critiquing them. They want to know, and then they apply what you're coaching. So they are one of the funnest groups of kids to coach that I've ever, in 28, going on 29 years, that I've ever been around.
Today's show is brought to you by SLC Firearms, 917 North Main Street. Go see Mike Matusik, Chris Cartwright. I don't think Mike and Carissa Matusik had us up Skybox, Coach. We were at the MTSU Murray State game, the Shovel Lumber Skybox. Yeah. It was quite a large time we had. Very, very nice up there.
Sure it was.
But anyway, stop by for all. They've got gunsmithing. They've got gun cleaning. They'll help you sight the gun in. You buy one from them. I bought a 17 Savage from them, and Rick Epperson sighted it in for me, and Chris Cartwright. Anything goes wrong with it, it's service all the time. And they're your friends and your neighbors, and they're locally owned and operated. SLC Firearms inside of Shelbyville Lumber. Go to the plumbing section and keep bearing to the right. Coach, I'm going to go over a couple of scores before we move on to next week from last week. Columbia inside region play, 31. Lawrence County, 0. Tullahoma beat Lincoln County, 39-14. Spring Hill beat Lawson, 27-14. Where's Lawson?
Lawson is up in Metro Nashville. It's
really?
The new
school.
The one that I just completely lost train of thought. The school that shut down, basically they took 70-80% of those kids. So Hillwood.
Okay. And we always, Siegel got their first loss, 28-21 to Hendersonville, but their star wide receiver was suspended for a reason I was told today. He did not play at all. He got suspended. Page beat Coffee County 28-0. Now, Franklin County is our next opponent. Yep. They lost to Moore County 41-24. Moore County folks may have the Class 2A player of the year in that quarterback White down there. He's the real deal. So I really wasn't shocked at that one.
Right.
But a 2A school beating a 5A school. Franklin County, old-time rivalry. They beat Tullahoma already for their win 17-16.
Yes, they did.
This is a tough place to play.
Yep. Big
ball game because it's a region game. What are we looking at with Franklin County?
They have multiple athletes they'll have on the field. They are not up front. They're not quite as good as Columbia Central was, but once again, if you watch, if you take the Moore County tape and consider that an outlier, the game they played against, Oklahoma, before that East Hamilton, they were against Coffee County. They were competitive. Obviously, they won the total home game, but when you see them come off the ball, when you see them do everything, they do not look like they did against Moore County. They look like a team that was ready and willing to do whatever was necessary to win. So, excuse me.
We've got to be ready.
So
to play.
for us, we have to be ready.
Absolutely.
Because now, all things considered, at 4-1, and we're up in the region, we're going to get everybody's best shot. And so we've got to be prepared for that. And we can't let somebody slip a jab in on us. We've got to be on point and ready to go.
And it's on the road over there. Tough place to play in Franklin County, always. But it's a tough place to play in Columbia. It's a tough place to play at Wilson Central.
Yes, it was. And so that's all part of the game. I mean, it's the nice thing about this year's season. We have 5 home, 5 away, instead of the opposite of that last year, where it was 6 away and 4 at home. So we're okay with our travel schedule is set. The kids are used to it. We do pretty much the same things that we do on the road as we do at home, and so that really lends itself to staying in rhythm and knowing what everybody's job and responsibility is, all the way from managers to coaches to players on the field. And we just go out and we look to play football. We worry about us much more so than we worry about them, and we are focused on us and our family, and not on what all the other stuff that might be floating around might be. So when we get out there and we do the things we're supposed to and work the process the way we're supposed to, we're going to be fine.
Coach, we're going to talk a little bit about our fish fry coming up.
Okay.
It's coming up pretty soon. We're looking at right at a month. Yep. It's October 20th, and it's the Lincoln County game. Where can people get tickets?
Players, a certain number of players and parents have tickets right now. If they want to just reach out on our Facebook page and ask, we can make sure that they have tickets available to them, and we can get them to them. You can pay cash, Venmo, or PayPal, or write a check. It's $15 a plate, and we're looking forward to it.
Oh, it's going to be some good fish. Randy Clanton and I, we got some good stuff for you, because we're going to have fish, we're going to have hush puppies, we're going to have white beans, then we're going to get some potato salad, some slaw, and the desserts I think will be nice as well. This
homemade desserts.
Homemade desserts. I think this is really going to turn out really well. And we need everybody to get out for that one. You can also get tickets from me. You can come see me. You can come down to the Shovel Animal Hospital and see me, because I have tickets as well that I'll sell you. But try to get them from the kids. I'd rather you do it, but I will sell them to you as well. And I was thinking, and I was talking to David about this, we're going, our Saturday morning show is going to go back to 9, and we're going to be consistent through the season, not moving anymore. We might want to give 2 tickets away to the fish fry on a trivia question.
There you go.
So I think you guys Saturday morning might interact with us a little bit, and we're going to have you a trivia question, a way for you to win a couple tickets to the fish fry too. We may try to do that on Saturday mornings from now to the fish fry, but that's coming up before you know it. We're a month away. Yeah. And Kenny Parker said something on our show Saturday morning that he was depressed. And I said, "What do you mean you're depressed?" We're halfway through the season.
Yeah, we are.
And it's hard to believe, because it seems like we just started, and we're right now heading into the second half of the season.
We are. We after Friday night, Lord willing, we'll come away with a win, and we go into our bye week, and then we're right back on October 6th for homecoming. So
we do get a bye week.
Yep, our bye week will be next week, and then we'll come back for homecoming, and then the rest of the schedule plays out. So we're pretty excited over it.
Well, everybody try to mark it down for the 20th, because that's going to be a big night for us, and we need a big turnout, and try to raise a little money for the kids for football. Well, like I said, this show was brought to you by SLC Firearms, 917 North Main Street, 684-5731 for all your gun, optical needs, ammunition needs. Like I said, they've got Hornady ammo. I don't know where else you can get that. And if you need something, they don't have it, they'll get it pretty quick, I promise you. Coach, we're going to be back here next week, and hopefully it's going to be another good week for a coach's show.
Hey, Lord willing, it'll happen. We're just excited about this season, seeing the culture and everything finally starting to come together, and not just within the football program. It's athletic department wide. It's starting to change, and hats off to Coach Pope as a principal.
Yes, absolutely. He's done a phenomenal job.
And Coach McCullough, and we have 2 new assistant principals in the building this year. Of course, Ken Gilliland was the band director. before that, and he's done a phenomenal job coming in. And then we got another one, Deidre Barnes, who's been incredibly supportive. So of athletics in general, not just football.
Who's that assistant athletic director?
I don't know who he is. He's still learning
Who's
the
that guy?
ropes.
Who
on
is that guy?
So, but no, we that's been an honor to actually get to be offered that job and accepted it. It was pretty neat whenever they brought me in to do that. So, but we're excited just as an entire school now. I mean, Central it's starting to rise, and it's exactly what it needs to be. And things are all those negatives that you used to hear about all the time, they are being addressed and cut one by one. And I feel like we're on the cusp of doing something great here in the next few years.
I feel it this year.
So
if we keep getting better, and we keep getting better every week, this may be a special season for the Golden Eagles.
Well, not just for us, for everybody.
Sure.
I mean, it's shoot, take the marching band, for instance. Deneen Napper took that over from Mr. Gilliland, and she's running 80 plus kids. It's and they sound pretty good. And our guys love having that drum line lead us out at home, to the point where I'm trying to figure out how we can make that happen for away games too.
And that's something Dr. Garrett, your superintendent, will preach to you too, that athletics, it goes through the whole school.
It does.
Because if you're winning here and there's excitement, next thing you know, the attitude's different in the classroom. It's different in the hallways. People have got school spirit, and it's a big deal.
And it does. And it's true. It turns into, as things progress through an athletic department, football kind of leads it because it's on the boys' side, especially because it's the first big sport of the year. But our girls' soccer team's playing out of their mind right now.
Right.
And in basketball there's some excitement around basketball now on boys and girls, and then of course the spring seasons there's a lot of it with soccer and baseball.
We have a great baseball program.
Don't take away from Coach Fritz and the soccer program.
No.
I mean, they're only a year removed from going to state,
right.
And so all of that is progressing for us, and it changes the school when you have 300 athletes that are focused on each other and we and us rather than me and I. It changes who you are, and that's nothing but a net positive. And then being named I can't remember exactly the award we got, but from the National Renaissance, we were awarded one of their blue ribbon type top schools, and so everything is progressing, and it's been a culmination now of a lot of decisions in the behind closed doors and in the past that have led to us in this point right now. And we are incredibly happy as a football program to be a part of what's happening.
Everybody get out. It's not far to Franklin County. Drive over there. Check out the Golden Eagles, 7 o'clock Friday night. They need your support. Drive over and cheer on Shelbyville, and hopefully it's another big victory. For Coach Judd Dryden, I'm Bill Anderson. We'll see you back here next week live, Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. Thanks for joining us.